G'day, g'day. My name's Mike Rehu and welcome to Rehu Sports preview of the round 8 game between the Chiefs, and they'll be hosting the champion Crusaders. That's on Saturday night, 7 p.m. New Zealand time. Kia ora everybody, my name's Mike Rehu. A bit about me if you're watching me for the first time. I've been a rugby commentator for 15, 20 years, predominantly in Asia, doing the Asian Five Nations Japanese Top League, and also worked for Sky Sport New Zealand as a commentator, producer, director for ESPN, Fox, blah, 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 BBC. So, just thought I'd try to launch this YouTube channel, Rehu Sport. You can subscribe down the bottom there to make sure that you don't miss any of the updates. Right, let's get into the rugby. Take a look at the standings leading into round 8 of Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021. And you'll see there that the Crusaders, the champions, still have quite a substantial lead over the chasing pack. Although they've got the speed wobbles a bit in the last couple of rounds for them. Loss against the Highlanders and a Golden Point extra time victory last weekend against the Hurricanes. The Blues, they're coming off a bye. They'll play the Highlanders tonight, and the Chiefs, of course, the home time team. Sadly, the Hurricanes, right down there in the bottom, they've got a bye to lick their wounds. The starting 15, first for the home team, the Chiefs. The Chiefs have stayed with consistency in the top 5, although I call it the tight 6 for the Chiefs because Mitch Brown plays a really, really tight, loose game at blindside flanker, and they rely a lot on the midfield backs. Anton Leonard-Brown was Tupaia, but now Nankivell to operate at the contact area as well. Big news in terms of the team changes. Lachlan Bashir is back after a long injury period, and it's a great time for him to underline his potential and credentials for the open side flanker spot for the All Blacks, with Sam Cane out. Of course, Dalton Papali'i and Ardie Savea were the front runners for that one. Karifi's in there, I guess, as well. But if Lachlan Bashir can reel off a couple of good rounds here, he could be one of the people that gets his name into contention for that 7. Also at number 10, D-Mac goes in to start at first 5. Alex Nankivell comes into 12 because Quinn Tupaia with his MCL ruptures out for about 6 to 8 weeks. That's sad for Tupaia. He was playing really well, big strong carrier, so they'll need Nankivell and other players to step up as well. Interesting, I'm sure they thought about fitting Sowakula into the mix right from the start, but he also provides a lot of straightforward running when he comes on. He's been good the last week or two as well. Chase Tiatia moves to fullback, so the loser in this is Caleb Trask. He's not in the 23. Bryn Gatland is on the bench, and it's a huge welcome back to veteran hooker who's just had the worst run of injuries, Nathan Harris. So he's on the bench instead of Slater this week. He'll bring some senior leadership too. So that's a pretty smart 23 for the Chiefs. For the Crusaders, it's a big congratulations to the Meerkat. Mitchell Drummond playing his 100th for the franchise. And it's all changed for the Crusaders. Basically, the tight 5 has all changed. Bauer comes in for Joe Moody. He's got an injury under his big toe. At least 2 weeks to see the specialist. And then beyond, probably. Brodie McAllister I think he got like 30 seconds of proper time last week, strolled onto the field, so they're going to give him a start. Ala Alatoa comes back for Jaeger. Dunshay and Strange are the locks. Strange will bring some mongrel, that's for sure. And they're taking the captain and put him, Scott Barrett, into blindside flanker. It's all changed in the loose forward trio as well. Scott Barrett, as we said, the Colonel comes in at open side flanker, and the brave warrior Ethan Blackadder at number 8, which I think is a great decision. Sadly, Grace hasn't been fantastic in 2021. It's been a little bit passive, and I get the feeling that with his long, lean shape, he's probably more of a 6. We've seen the squat ball runners like Savea and Sotutu do really well at 8. That's what you wanted an 8 now, I think, off set piece. And Grace really hasn't provided that for the Crusaders. The Centurion, as we say, Drummond, Mo'unga, he's a constant. Bridges looked a lot better last weekend than he did the first week out, that's for sure. Havili was the hero against the Hurricanes. Whainga Anuku showing that he can play centre as well. Needs to work on his defence a bit. And Will Jordan. So looking at the bench, Cody Taylor gets a spot on the bench this week. Tuangafasi, we haven't seen him all season, comes in at loosehead prop. Jaeger. Romano, the old warhorse, is back to put things right too and get the Crusaders campaign back on track. Havili Talitui gets a rest off the bench. Hall, McLeod and Mataili also making a re-entrance into the 23. Interesting, no Fergus Burke, so Mo'unga, they're expecting a lot from him. It'll be very interesting to see who they put in at 10 if Mo'unga goes down. It really has been a season of attrition, hasn't it? Super Rugby Aotearoa 2021. I guess Havili will go into 10, showing what he had last weekend with that last-minute drop goal. All right, things to look out for. It's really important that the Chiefs continue their momentum. It was really easy for them in the end to lose 11 in a row. Why can't they win 11 in a row? They've got 3 in a row so far. They're looking confident. They had the ability to get out of a tight spot against the Highlanders last weekend. Leaders stood up. It was great. Can DMAC do it for 80? There's a lot of contention around whether he's a first five or a fallback. People tend to think that he can come in at 40, 50 minutes and step up to fly half when there's tired legs. So the onus is on him to prove he's an 80-minute footballer at number 10. I think it's really important for the Chiefs this week because we see a lot of fresh players coming off onto the Crusaders starting 15. They need to play at pace. They need to run those big boys around, guys like Strange, Dunshea. They need to run them round and play at pace. I think that's probably going to be the successful key for them this weekend. So the Crusaders to get there, I mean, look, they're at the top of the table. No need to panic. But obviously they've realised they've had a bit of a team talk and said, let's get some of these fresh players in, provide some energy. We've seen how other teams have used that for the good, but they haven't probably gone out as wholeheartedly as the Crusaders have, really changed the pack for this week. And I wouldn't imagine they're underestimating the Chiefs by any means. So Lucy's in contact's been a really important one. I talked about Grace being passive, but really their trio has really not been that good in contact all season, really. That's been one of the weaknesses for the Crusaders for me this year. The new tight five, they need to step up, show cohesion, make sure they secure the line-out ball. It shouldn't be an issue. They've got some big jumpers there, and they may put pressure also on the Chiefs as well. They've got a young jumping duo at lock who've fought really bravely. I really liked Tupou Vai last week. I thought he was very Itoji-like, the way he got in around mauls, made it really niggly. We're talking about the Crusaders here. I think also Will Jordan needs to step up here too. He's almost played himself out of contention for fullback with Mackenzie and Barrett doing so well there. He really needs to tell people that he's ready to be an All Black again after last season. There seems to be some hesitancy. I don't know how his head is. He's had an issue with concussion. Has he got the confidence? He needs to play with some confidence, some smoothness. Needs to inject himself with pace this weekend. So my pick for this game, actually putting myself on the spot here because I haven't really thought about it magnificently, but I reckon the Crusaders with their fresh legs might win this game just through giving everybody a chance in their squad and giving some of those fringe players the chance to step up. There's some great quality players there. We see Dunshea has never let anybody down. Sanders, they're all magnificent players in their own right. I reckon it's their chance to shine, and I think they might put things right for the Crusaders and just show that they are a squad rather than a team of a core of 12 to 13 All Blacks. So let's see if my prediction comes right. I reckon Crusaders by not much, maybe 5, maybe even another golden point, dare I say it. So just checking again the fixtures for round 8. So this is Saturday night we've been looking at. Tonight the Highlanders play the Blues at Forsyth Bar, so that's going to be a good game as well. Hope you enjoy this weekend's Super Rugby Aotearoa coverage. Don't forget, subscribe down there to Rihu Sport. Trying to make a go of this. Hopefully you found this informative, entertaining. Can't wait for the rugby tonight. I'll be on Rugby Pass giving player ratings. Look out for that as well. Take care. Have a great weekend. That's bye for now. And this production has been brought to you from Tahu Films. Adios and take care, amigos.